I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Dragons of War. We are rejoining the party as they are in search of the giant spider that Wormface has dubbed Bitey. Scout, Gorakul, Elodie, and Pesci are, advancing. Zarash is, here, but of course with him and his wife not able to play today, we're going to kind of focus on the players who are here and just imagine that they're in the background fighting off some of the smaller spiders as they come up on your flanks. All right, so we get the map pulled up. We get the players pulled up. Look at the dark, spooky woods you find yourselves in.
It's so dark, I can't see a thing.
It's very creepy once it loads. Trust me.
And Wormface is the kobold we captured, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Captured, released, sent with us now to be eaten because they don't like them.
Okay, now I see it.
Yeah. They thought he was too weak. And they were just like, you know what, take him. If you want him, you can have him.
Oof.
Oh, that's a large spider.
I don't think that's bitey.
I don't think it is. It looks like the normal size, but
It's large, but not giant.
I mean, it does say giant spider. However, we're going after the massive spider.
That's right. All right, so you guys can all roll initiative right away.
Let me change the dice color.
I was having difficulty finding the initiative die.
Suppose I should roll for worm face. All right. The giant spider, sensing your presence as you trip tiny invisible web threads of web that are stretched all across the forest floor, comes scurrying down from his tree, down to the ground, and in front of you guys, but is unable to attack.
Is that bitey? As Goraku points to that giant spider.
No!
Okay, so what exactly should we look for if we're trying to find bitey?
Big!
Just bigger than this one.
Okay, so
We'll just attack and kill it. It'll be fine.
ones.
All right. I'm
I think
gonna
Bitey has a
do-
lot of juniors.
Yeah,
Seems
probably.
like it. I'm gonna do frostbite.
You ever seen an egg sac hatching? And that's good. Remember, failure means the spider failed, so now your frosty spell begins to freeze the spider's limbs as it takes the cold damage. It's wounded, but not incapacitated.
Okay.
Yeah, if you've ever seen an egg sac hatching, it is a truly horrifying Zerg rush of tiny, horrifying
I've seen the
spiders.
video.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. I do not enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing I want to ever experience in real life. Anyway, this spider now climbs down out of the tree, but it can only make it to about here. And so you guys see another one approaching.
All right, Scout takes his rapier and is going to attack number one. Is he considered within 5 feet of Worm Face?
He is.
Okay, good.
Oh.
Did I not select him?
Yeah, no, you already had him selected.
Well, poop. Okay, he's selected now.
Just roll again.
I'm happy with that roll again. Good choice.
The spider is heavily wounded as Scout stabs his rapier deep into him. Wormface is panicked but stabs the spider.
Panic stab. If Soggy was in his position, he'd do the same thing, but with an Eldritch Blast.
Oh, and I actually get advantage because of pack tactics. That's alright. And I deal 3 damage as I stab the spider.
Okay. Pesci, knowing that there is another spider on its way, actually, no, I think that I'll just end up, because I know that this spider is going to be acting sooner rather than later. Okay. I'm just going to shoot it with my short bow.
Well, it's a normal sized bow for you.
So,
The arrow bounces off of the hard chitinous plating on its thorax.
The
so,
DM's vicious mockery got him all messed up.
Yeah.
so, do I know anything else about these spiders? Can I think of
You can roll
any
knowledge nature.
weaknesses or anything?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
roll knowledge nature.
See nature.
You know that although they themselves are not vulnerable to it, most arachnids are afraid of fire.
Hmm.
Dang, if only we had Katla.
Yeah. Well, you said that these don't. This species is not afraid of fire, but others would
No,
be.
no. I said that they themselves are not vulnerable to it, but they are.
Oh,
But
okay.
most spiders are afraid of fire.
Gotcha. Okay. Um. So Pesci says, it's a good. Usually, when we depict spiders on stage, it's usually some sort of fire or something is used to ward them off. The hero will use fire to ward them off. Does anyone have a match, mayhaps? As he ends his turn.
And Gorakul sort of looks at the gnome incredulously and says, "If you haven't noticed, I am a bronze. I am bronze black. You know what that means?
No. No, I don't know what
I
that means.
You're a
breathe
tiny lizard.
fire!"
Oh, that's nice.
And he shows that by breathing flames onto this spider.
Well, hold on. Where you're at, you'll be hitting one of your allies, if not 2 of them, in order to do
No,
so.
I meant giant spider number 2.
Ah, okay. You'll still have to get a bit closer, I do believe. Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
And I'm going to, after I use the my breath weapon,
There you go.
I'm going to do an intimidation roll.
You don't need to
It'll
intimidate.
be at a,
The fire is doing that for you, so it doesn't have anything to do with your intimidate skill.
yes, okay, good. And he's just like, away! But
As
This is
the
good flame breath.
as the flames burst in front of the spider, it blasts it a little bit, but mostly creates a barrier of fire, daring the spider, to come forward. Well, mostly hoping that he doesn't. Giant spider number 1 bites back at Scout.
Okay. Um, let's see. Can I reach Giant Spider 2 from where I'm at, or would I have to move?
Depends on what you're targeting him with, but yeah, generally speaking, you can reach him.
Okay. Oh wait, I should clear targets first. Okay, I'm gonna do Ray of Frost. Ooh.
A critical hit.
Critical hit!
Your ray of frost feels cool and soothing on the spider's burns. He thanks you. No. The combination of the fire and the ice causes the spider to kind of reel back on its legs and raise up. It doesn't seem very pleased.
Alright, I like that better than the healing his wounds accidentally.
It's like, remember that's in the brain thing at the,
Yeah, if you touch like hot and cold at the same time, it can make you feel like if you go really fast from hot to cold, it can make you feel like you.
or touch the center part?
Yeah, it will make you feel like you've got a burn. It's really weird.
It's like what hellfire tastes.
Scout. The other spider appears to have retreated.
Scout's too focused on the one on him. But he's a little distracted by the fire and the ice.
Fire and ice!
Wormface continues to stab bravely away at the spider.
Good job, little guy.
Sorry, I kept on changing my window over to different ones. Okay. So it's just the one that's left at this point? Okay. Well, seeing as how the other one is now gone. Let's see. He's heavily wounded?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I will shoot at it again. Do I have... Sorry, I'm just double checking something. Oh, nope, I don't have it. Okay. All right, attacking it with my short bow. Miss again. Apeshi says he's shaking a little bit because apparently he's not happy around spiders. You can hear his teeth chattering a bit.
You did not realize you had arachnophobia.
I did not realize that at all, but apparently he does. These are big spiders, and Pesci is bite size. He ends his turn. Gabe, you're up.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute because we were dealing with something.
And Gorakul just sort of stares at Pesci sort of like unamused and just says, there are things worse in this world than spiders. And he sort of... And
I'm right here.
You throw
And
your
he
magic
misses.
stone at him that streaks like a comet through the air, but flies over the giant spider.
And Gorakul just sort of cusses to himself for missing.
Oh, that ain't gonna work.
That worked really well.
We're all missing. It's great.
Okay. Let's do frostbite again. Let me target the spider. All right. Maybe no. Success
means
is
that
bad.
I don't take any damage.
I hate that. Okay. Well, that's what I got.
Giant Spider 2 burrows into his little hidey hole and disappears.
Well, where do you think you're going, little spider?
To eat your little friend.
Not today.
The spider is stabbed again and again with Scout's rapier as he plunges it into his thorax, killing him.
I'm just assuming Pesci got splattered with guts because of all the mess on the game board, and Pesci's just wiping everything off of him right now. And is like,
Everybody in that splash zone got some.
yeah. He's wiping himself off physically, but then when he turns to Wormface, he says, "You know, I was wrong about you, and I apologize," as he uses prestidigitation to magically clean all the guts and stuff off of him.
Ew, yucky. Thank you, small one.
But you notice that he does not use prestidigitation to clean off the guts or anything on him.
Yeah.
DM, do I know if there's any sort of like pheromones or anything that we could potentially use to like keep the spiders away from us?
Unfortunately, your knowledge nature did not, provide you with that.
Gotcha.
Well, I suppose we should press on and find Bitey.
And Gorakul, so returning to the others, seeing them covered in guts and such, says, "Why, you look all grisly."
Except for Wormface. Wormface is specifically not.
And Gorakul is going to make a nature check to help them find Bitey.
The webs appear to get thicker the deeper into the forest you go.
If we were to follow the thickness of the webs, we are sure to find Bitey.
Are the webs flammable?
They're spider webs.
I'll take that as a yes.
Could I use so prestidigitation can light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire? Could I use it to light the web on fire?
No. Well, wait. Or small campfire. Yes.
And Gorakul sort of looks.
My ruling at first was based off of the fact that candles and torches both have accelerants to help them catch fire, but a small campfire does not. So
Gorakul sort of sees what Pesci's planning and says, "Let's save that for until we get to Bitey, all right? We need to find him first."
Well, I think he's just suggesting it so he could clear the webs along the way, so we could walk through.
I'm sure that once their early warning system goes up in flames, they're all going to come out.
Well, I mean, isn't the warning system based off of like pools and stuff? If it catches on fire, that should smoke them out. We can take cover and hide potentially while they all run fleeing from the flames.
Swarm you?
Or swarm us.
It's either going to be an epic win or an epic fail, one way or another.
I mean, it would. Spiders do not like fire, so I don't know. The toss-up. I'm leaving it out there as a suggestion that we could do. as something we could potentially do.
I'm not opposed to torching this forest and seeing what happens.
I mean, all I know is that I like killing my spiders with fire, because then I can stay far enough away.
Anyways, let's go follow this thick webbing. Shall we? And I
Wait.
sort of allow Scout to go first.
DM, can we try to avoid triggering the webbing in any way?
Now that you're aware of it, you can roll survival to try and move, or actually, I'm sorry, stealth to try and move around it without triggering it, but understand that they have covered almost every inch of everything. Yeah, no, it ain't happening.
Scout's not going to do it just for the simple fact that it slows him down to do stealth.
So there you have it. Your companions just keep stepping on it. They're like, what? Don't step on what? This? There, crunch, crunch.
Scout's
Is
actually intending
there...
to step on as many as he can to get them to come out.
Could we maybe do something to trick them into thinking somewhere else is being poked or something? Like maybe throwing like a branch or something far enough away.
That's not going to
Or-
negate that there's also something walking where you are.
That's true, but maybe it'll split their forces and confuse them.
Okay. So you start tossing branches as you guys are walking, trying to, lure them off as best you can.
Scout, are you going to move your character?
Ah, yes, this is map exploration time.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually figure out what is path, what is elevation.
Ah, yes. So the rocky areas would be little cliffs that lead up. The path kind of leads up and then circles around that
Okay.
tree up there.
Okay, I was not sure. So
Right.
he'll take the lead.
I asked Wormtongue or Wormface to assist in creating as much distraction as possible and just like doing stuff to mess with the spiders. Because it seems like our other companions are not going to do so.
He does.
Okay.
Our companions have no
Let's see.
skill in the
Oracle's
art
too
of
focused on trying to
setting
follow
the
the webbing.
stage.
Oh, hold on one second, Gabe. Let's let Pesci finish his interaction with Wormface.
Yeah. I tell Wormface that our companions really have no skill or talent for setting the stage appropriately, as it were.
He shrugs at you. He has no idea what you just said.
That's right, he doesn't speak common, does he?
No, he speaks common, but he doesn't know what you're talking about setting the stage. Anyway, what were you gonna say there, Korakul?
Gorakul said that the reason why he didn't really do well on his stealth is that he's too focused on sort of guiding everyone to follow the webbing to the thicker webbing.
Yes, indeed. So, Scout,
I'm fighting.
as you come around this corner, you see that the path kind of diverges. One goes to the north and one goes to the south.
Which way has the thicker webbing?
It's all just webbing right now.
So,
DM, my Pesci is extremely hyper vigilant about anything coming by and snatching him up. But question: is there anything maybe in the webbing or something that could give us a clue as to which direction the nest is, or where Bitey is?
Well, they didn't exactly Charlotte's Web some directions into it, if that's what you mean.
Well, I meant like bodies or whatever.
Nah, anything
Snacks.
that gets caught is quickly brought away to eat.
Scout pulls out a coin, flips it, looks at the face that lands on him, and he just starts going.
Yep.
And Gora Cool, sir.
Roll for perception, Scout.
Don't forget to move your token again.
Yeah, I just had to leave for one quick sec.
She's like, "Don't worry, I'm good back here. I just heard roll for perception." You all have fun. All right, now let me roll. Are you kidding me?
Every time we talk.
I rolled a 13.
Nice.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
Worm face, is that bitey?
Yes.
Oh, let the fun begin.
How exciting.
How far away is this guy?
That's huge. That was a good descriptor. I couldn't think of that one before.
Ooh,
It's actually
it
the
is certainly
size.
larger than.
It's actually the size category, so just makes it easier. Yeah.
Okay.
And since we've been stepping on his webs, I'm going to assume it's initiative because there's no surprise.
Initiative indeed. Initiatize. You guys got to be self-motivators in this. Don't forget, Pesci, to add your bonus to your initiative.
What's my bonus to initiative?
It's under your Jack of all trades features.
Oh,
Part of your bardic immunity.
look that up.
It's under actions. You just go to the actions tab and then you'll see Jack of all trades and you just click on the effect. Yeah, see? Oh, nope, just once. Hold on.
Oh.
There we go. I got it. All right. Now,
Okay.
now you can go ahead and re-roll your initiative and it'll be with a bonus.
Okay. I'll take that. Or did it not work?
No, it worked.
Okay. I didn't see it show up in the window, that's why.
Yeah.
So re-roll the initiative, Pesci.
Oh. I did roll it, and I guess it didn't show up.
All right.
All right, there you go.
I rolled a 20 a second ago, that's why I was like, I'll take that.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Oh well, 18's still good.
Elodie.
Okay. I feel like I have to move. I'm gonna move there. All right. How far is that?
40 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna do frostbite. Oh, I rolled it twice. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. He succeeded either way. Or she. Girls can be spiders too.
Okay. Yeah, so that just ended.
You could use your archery.
I mean,
All right. Boogity boogity, I'm all big and scary.
shouldn't have got so close.
Oh man.
Scout kind of grunts just a little bit. How fast he moved. and swings out.
Okay. Okay. I was not expecting this thing to be right in front of us. How thick is the webbing this thing is on? Like, is it dangling from it or something?
Nope, it ran across the ground at you guys.
Oh, it just ran across it, scurried across the ground? Oh, man.
A pretty fast spider.
Damn, I wish I had grease. This would have been awesome with grease. And there's how thick is the webbing near it or around it?
There's webbing all over the forest floor.
Okay. Yeah, it's not going to probably be as useful as I would like it to be. Okay. Just against spiders. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let me deselect the spider. Elodie.
Oh, smart move. He's switching sides and turning on the party in order to join the winning team.
Aha! It is my trick. No, Elodie, I'm giving you Bardic Inspiration.
All right.
That's my bonus action. I say to Elodie, you came from the forest. Squish it.
Perfect.
Didn't you come from the forest too? Like you are
I'm not-
literally a forest gnome.
No one has to know
Part of
this.
the whole different part.
And I guess, well, illusion's not going to be useful. Prestidigitation probably isn't going to be terribly useful either right now. Heroism may be useful soon. I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on the Fire Illusions. That's more of a serious illusion than Minor. Minor cannot create light or heat, so it's not going to be too convincing.
Right.
I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on the spider and just go. I guess he just says, we've killed Bitey Jr. and Bitey Jr. Jr. and Bitey Jr. 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 You're next.
And it does indeed seem to have the effect you wanted. Click the effect.
Yep. Psychic damage.
As well as the damage, correct.
And the effect. The effect is the one that I wanted. Is the more important one. Okay. And I am done.
Poor face is gone.
Nah, he's brave as hell. He pulls out his sling and starts chucking rocks at the spider.
For cool, seeing everyone pile on onto this spider, decides to use his guidance.
Oh, nope, that's a cliff. That's a cliff.
That would be, you'd have to climb it, so.
So Gorakul, seeing his opportunity, shoots the spider with the magic of his star map,
Okay.
which is basically a guidance bolt.
Yes.
Oh, wow, did somebody die?
You deal a great deal of damage to the huge spider.
And mark it with some sort of celestial sort of mark.
It has starlight twinkling all around it, making it easier to hit it.
Scout is
Okay.
impressed with the damage that he just dealt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, it was a very good roll.
Ice knife.
Ice knife? Alright, I'm gonna do ice knife.
Yeah.
All right, so you miss, and I succeeded at my save, so no damage.
Doesn't she have bardic inspiration?
She does,
Why didn't it contribute to her?
because she has to declare to use it.
Oh. I did not know I had to do that. Cool. That's good to know for the future. Great. I'll just add that.
The huge spider climbs up here, drawing an attack of opportunity from Elodie, who does not have anything except for her physical attacks. So if you have a physical attack that you can make, go ahead and attack the spider. Otherwise, he gets away without an attack.
What would be a physical attack?
The weapons.
Staff, knife, one of those items.
Alright, I
That'd be
have a dagger. That work?
Yeah.
damage is
All right.
damage.
I have never used any of these, so I'm not 100% sure.
As the spider moves out of your space, you pull out your dagger and stab it as it retreats.
And then
Okay, so the box just to the right that has all the damage. Just drag it into the chat box or double tap it.
oh, okay, I see.
Beautiful, beautiful stab. So proud
Cool.
of you.
And then he attacks from up top against Scout.
Wow. Well, he didn't crit on you.
There's
And you
For
saved
one.
versus the poison.
A critical success.
yeah.
It looked like he rolled a 20 and an 18.
He did.
Oh my god.
Wow. I will
I
take
got-
full
got
credit.
it.
I mean, like, I've gotten really high rolls for my spells so far. Man is just avoiding or, spider.
And yes, Pesci, you are 100% correct that is your victory that he did not get a crit.
I am useful. The bard is useful. All right.
Oh, by the way, any attacks against the spider are at -2 due to him having the high ground, but don't worry about it. You hit anyway.
I'll make sure I add that in the future.
Yep, no worries. I don't know
Okay.
how much of a future this spider has.
How is it now? Is it like it's on the tree?
It's on the cliff, attacking from the cliff side.
I
Oh,
mean, with
okay.
all of these dagger attacks, I don't think he's got much life left in him.
And there's not really much webbing or whatever around him, right?
There's webbing all over the floor.
No, but I mean like enough webbing that I feel like it would be useful to set it on fire.
There's webbing everywhere.
All right, well, since there's
Just
webbing
remember,
everywhere
we're in the
now.
webbing too.
Like, if there's webbing everywhere, isn't there a possibility that it'll, like, spread to the point where we would get hurt?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We're standing in this webbing too.
You do have a valid point here. All right. Teshi,
I believe that was the DM hint of the webbing is everywhere.
You
yeah.
are correct.
I just really want to set something on fire. I should have been a fire mage, maybe.
That's how
All
I
right.
that's how I do that as a DM. I'm not going to stop you and say you'd be burned too. I just reiterate The webbing is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I got it. All right, Pesci's gonna shoot at it because it's big. I'm at a -2.
It's not small. No, no, no. Yeah, you are at a -2.
All right, let me make sure. Actually, no, because I'm at a -2. I will use vicious mockery again, and I'll say, "You're not long for this world, just like your babies." I don't know what those are.
Your words mean nothing to me, little gnome. You're but a snack.
Oh, I could
That's
see it.
rough.
It's staring at me with a look of longing to eat, and Pesci does not feel very good about it, so he'll take 5 steps back, or a 5-foot step back.
The question
And
is
he'll,
how many of its eyes are looking at it?
I will end my turn.
Yeah, worm face.
I
Oh,
try.
I'm a little guy. I love this little guy.
So Gorakul, is hitting it with a range attack going to be at -2?
Yes.
Okay. Gorakul tries to shoot a rock at it, but it doesn't.
Okay.
Last round,
Great,
and
you
then
have
I know you
bardic
gotta get
inspiration.
going.
Yeah. um does is ice knife like a problem, like it would hit other people, or is it something I can
It would hit anybody within 5 feet of him, which is Gorakul and Scout.
not gonna do that. So we're gonna do frostbite again.
Don't forget you have the extra
Oh yeah, I'm
d6
gonna
you should
declare
have.
I'm gonna use the bardic inspiration.
You can't use Bardic Inspiration for this because the saving throw is on him.
Dang.
Then how about use it on the archery?
Alright, can I do that?
I didn't hear what he said.
He said can I to use it for archery. If I use my crossbow, would I be able to use the bardic inspiration?
You would, but you were on the right path with the frostbite.
Okay, I'm just gonna do the frostbite then.
Hey, failure!
Yay.
Because your archery would be at a -2, then you get the bardic inspiration.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
So
It would basically
it,
nullify the
it,
bardic inspiration.
it's got a significant chance of doing 0, and then yeah, as your hands weave together and the frost forms around the spider, its form suddenly hardens and bursts as the ichor from the spider covers everybody in the viscous goo once again, except for Wormface and Pesci, who are standing back from the splash zone this time.
And Gorakul is just sort of looks up in disgust at and sort of like says, "Well, that was certainly an experience."
Scout takes his time to climb that cliff face to dismember Bitey's head.
Yeah,
Or Fang, whatever I can
yeah,
possibly
yeah.
drag.
I mean, you can get the head off, and the fangs are huge. They're like as long as your arms.
And now it's time to figure out is to like search for anything around the around this place that was any of thing of importance, like loot.
Sure.
So
Just real quick, Elodie, you're free to leave. Thanks for playing. We're gonna continue on until regular session end time. So, uh, thank you.
Yep. It's fun playing with you guys.
Wormface, from here on out, you are now called Bitey Slayer.
Bitey's lair. Okay.
At this point, Pesci starts monologuing about, "Oh, fear the mighty Bitey Slayer," as he does jazz hands and showcasing Wormface or Wormface.
And now we have a
Masterful dismember of giant spiders, and you need something. You need a trophy, is what you need.
trophy. That's a great idea. I take one of the. I'm going to chip off part of Bitey's tooth to make him a necklace.
Okay.
Did spiders have? Do they have a? Could they potentially have like stuff in their stomach, like in other creatures do after eating in that stuff?
Do you know how spiders eat?
I mean, Pesci doesn't.
Then if you as a person know how spiders eat, I think you know the answer to that question.
Yes, but Pesci doesn't
Right.
because he rolled horribly.
Yes. It is possible that Pesci might believe otherwise.
Nah, I don't think he's really going to feel comfortable trying to look inside his stomach like a tauntaun. Okay. Let's look around, see if what else we can find around here, and make sure that there's no other baby spiders that can come after us.
Oh, there's lots of baby spiders.
Scout's busy crafting a necklace while they're looking around.
Yeah, Gorakul, you're investigating the area. You don't really find anything, just a bunch of spiders' webs.
Hmm.
I mean, they bring their victims back to their nest, right?
Yes.
We should we find their nest?
I believe our tasking was to kill Bitey. Everything else is just extra fun.
What else may we need to prove that we've slain that Bitey Slayer has slain the mighty Bitey?
Well, you guys
Well, I mean,
have his head.
and we have
Oh,
a
yeah.
bard to tell the tale of how Wormface became the Bitey Slayer.
Well, yes, there is those things, but well, actually, that might be enough. I may be able to come up with a tale. As he starts mumbling to himself a storyline.
Gorakul, is there anything that you wish to do?
Well, he's just trying to find if there was anything of importance that's tangled up in the webs.
Nothing tangled up in the webs right now.
I mean, his forest is rather large, so I don't know how productive it would be to go too deep into it.
Don't you want to go deep into the dark, scary woods?
No,
Is there
Pesci
something
snack
you
size.
know about their Bitey Slayer?
What was that? You kind of were breaking up when you first started.
Is there something you'd like to tell us there, Bitey Slayer?
The woods are scary.
And Gorakul, after seeing that there isn't anything important around here, decides to use the remaining fang to sort of like carve into his star map a constellation representing Bitey.
Okay.
That's what he usually does when he has faced a large foe.
Yeah, I agree. And I was saying, okay, that's what you do.
I pull out some of my rope and tie it off onto the spider's head to start dragging it back.
And I follow, and Gorakul follows suits along with Elodie.
You guys begin to make your way back to the kobolds.
I'm on. Pesci is still very aware that he's bite-sized and keeps an eye out on the way back for anything that may want to hurt us.
You see several spiders, but it appears as though they can smell the scent of Bitey, their mother, and understand on an instinctual level that you guys killed something far bigger and more dangerous than them. And so they all keep their distance.
I'm content with that.
And
As
then,
long as they don't attack, I keep dragging the head back.
yeah, and then as you guys arrive back at the kobold encampment, some of the kobolds begin to cheer and shout when they see what Scout is dragging.
Pesci, I believe this is your part.
Um, yes. So once we get back in, we're dragging the head back, or rather, those three are dragging the head back.
And
I'm.
and I asked Wormface to actually stand on top of the head of the spider.
Oh
As
yes,
we
good. I
go
was about
through.
ready to ask. Can we make sure he's on the head and you're dragging back, and he's riding in like it's a horse or something? That would be amazing.
Absolutely, I like
And
that.
as we're coming back in,
In fact, you uh, get a point of inspiration for that, Scout.
and as we're coming
I'm
back
trying to make
in,
them the best cobalt that they've got.
as we're coming back in, Pesci is using prestidigitation and minor illusion to make all sorts of fireworks and images of spiders dying and all this other stuff, and I instruct Bitey Slayer to, as the images are popping near him, to swipe them with his dagger as if he is killing Bitey all over again.
Yeah, you actually could have worked this out on the trip so that he knows exactly what to do as you're doing it.
Okay, great. And as we get into the middle, I've instructed everyone to drop the burn in the center of town. As I work around to draw as much of a crowd as possible with all sorts of fireworks and other magical cantrips, and I say, "Behold, the mighty Bitey Slayer, your hero of the day. Now bear witness to his grand feat of slaying Bitey, the mighty spider of the dark woods, and behold of my tale of how he has done so." And he goes and explains.
Everybody starts looking underneath your cloak. A couple of the young kobolds come over and start looking under your cloak.
They're not taking anything from me, are they?
They're trying to behold your tail.
Oh, behold. Okay. He goes in and explains how we started out in the woods, and
they say you don't have a tail.
Oh, that type of tail. Haha.
And they start shaking their tails in front of you.
I minor illusion a tail and wave it.
Nice.
And then I let it go.
The young kobolds seem amused with this.
And Gorakul sort of seeing this.
Yes?
and Sir looks to the to see if the winged kobold is available.
Well, if
Like,
he's
is
important,
he-
he should know. He should know that my story is of grand importance and of grand news. So obviously, he would be bearing witness to such a tale, as magnificent as it is.
Well, upon hearing the uproar, everybody in the village came out.
So Pesci
Oh,
starts out with,
So Gorakul sort of walks over to the head kobold and says, "So, as you can see, along with Wormface, we have slain Bitey."
as Pesci goes, and Wormface, the mighty Bitey Slayer, who has single-handedly slain Bitey, while we gallantly fended off his flank from all sorts of vile fiends, wishing to prevent Bitey Slayer from performing his grand feats. I'm setting him up to be the hero, because there's only one hero of every tale.
Yeah, no, and certainly that is a very good thing that you're doing, not just for him, but in terms of the story and RP and all of that. Like, you guys are definitely getting bonus points for this.
So then Pesci goes through and explains the tale. Zeresh and Elodie were blasting their enemies, and then he creates a magical ice-looking image that he flings off into the sky, and then he creates a big spider that in front of Zeresh as Zeresh swings his axe through it to banish it, and then he says, and then scouts cleverly distracted hordes of spiders with his magnificent quick thinking and quick feats. And then over there with Garakul, he his mighty dragon's breath frightened and held off another horde that was coming towards our flank as Bitey jumped from the sky and split Bitey's head from the rest of his body as he's going off and making all these sorts of magical effects as he's embellishing the story.
Scout's going to lean into Wormface and say, "What is your real name?" Because obviously it's not Wormface.
Wormface.
Mm.
His name is now Bitey Slayer, is what his name is.
So I'm going to give you an option there, Bitey Slayer. You can return home with your pack, or you can travel with me.
I must do what Big Boss say.
I'm giving you an option, and you've already watched me slay your big boss.
Big Boss still in charge.
And Gorakul sort of looks to him and says, "We might as well let the winged one speak."
Scouts just stands back up since he's already made his mind up.
Yeah, basically, Wormface, Bitey Slayer is, too frightened to go against whatever the big boss would say. He's lived his whole life under his rule.
Guy walks up to the pack leader, the winged one. Your spider head is here. I believe we have a arrangement for equipment.
And
And our mining friends.
he confesses to you that your mining friends escaped and ran off, and that all they have is your equipment, and he gives it over to you.
Of course, they would run away from a raid.
So, what do you plan to do with Bitey Slayer, their leader of the pack?
He will be welcomed back into the clan.
Good, because I'd hate to have to come back here because you guys are mistreating him again.
How we treat our members is no concern of yours.
And your life is not going to be any concern of yours once you hurt him again.
And Gorakul just sort of makes sure to like put a hand on Scout's shoulder and says, "Please don't cause another scuffle again."
But that's half the fun.
At which
And
point
Scout
Pesci
starts to
finishes
grab
his
the equipment.
grand retelling of Spidey the Spidey Slayer, and I guess walks over and just says, "Are we done here?"
Appears so. DM, do we have the faithful mule that pulled the wagon last time?
Yes.
Or did it run up? Okay.
No, you have the mule.
We pack up the wagon and we start leading out.
And head to the fallen star.
All the other so we've gotten all of the mining equipment back that we had. Do we have the people now that we need to help us get this loaded?
So the people ran off. It's just the equipment.
It's just the equipment. Can we maybe get, since we just killed this massive spider for them, or rather, because Bitey Slayer killed this massive spider for them, don't they owe us? I mean, my story itself, they should have at least, you got to tip your bard. Can't they at least, maybe help us load this onto the cart? The very least?
Gorakul was about to suggest that.
You can ask, but that wasn't part of the original arrangement.
I understand. Grand Winged One. May I request, well, rather, we rendered you a service, and I'd say we've gone well above and beyond. And not only that, but as you see, I've also, the story will be one that you can pass down from generation to generation. As the kids obviously have enjoyed it, as he creates an illusion of another tail and waves it at the kids. Seeing as how this whole escapade we lost our men from fear, it would be very useful for us and maybe also for your village if you lend a hand in helping us load some minerals into these carts, and then we can.
And Gorakul sort of translate this and adds the fact that if they were to help, they could help. They could also gain more food in payment.
So you want them to come with you to help load up the meteorite.
Yep, that's all.
Yep.
They don't need to come with us back to the village. Just help us get it on the cart.
Roll for persuasion.
And Gorakul is going to help.
Wasn't as good of a roll as I thought it would end up being. I have not rolled well at all tonight.
Ooh, I could give you guidance.
That's up to the DM to see if whether or not he would allow that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the difficulty class was set a little bit higher than that. And unfortunately, the winged kobold says that he is unwilling to spare his kobolds for you unless you pay him.
And I did mention the fact that we could pay it in food.
What food do we have is the issue.
Yeah, they kept all the food.
Yeah, they already took our food. I mean, they can keep our food. Our payment was the return of all our equipment and supplies. That's part of our equipment and supplies.
Oh, they're keeping the food. You get the tools, the wagon, all that stuff.
Oh, I'm not going to push my luck anymore. I can't think of any reason to see if I can figure out a way to do that. We'll figure it out on our own. Just like how we killed the spider on our own.
DM side note.
Yes, sir.
It was I am to you.
Oh, 1 second. I never check Discord while playing because I have other stuff going on, but I will check it
That's
for
right.
you.
Those are the side note.
Yep. Yeah, that
I'm
works
actually
like gangbusters.
I was actually kind of impressed with that sleight of hand roll. All right, group, should we head on to get this?
Seems that the scout wants to get this show on the road, gentlemen and ladies.
Well, it seems like we
Indeed.
have more business here.
Let's
Indeed.
move.
You guys could further negotiate. He is open to sending kobolds with you.
For
The only issue is that we don't really have a way of paying them.
They accept all forms of currency.
I mean, unless they're more than happy to. Now, I mean, my form of currency is in grand tales and gestures. However, do they accept that form of payment?
No.
Okay. Well, then Pesci has no interest in negotiating with them.
I have 22 gold.
Do you wish to negotiate?
Yes. He's trying to. Gorakul is trying to negotiate.
He
While
says
speaking-
he'll send some kobolds for 100 gold.
Gorakul looks to the others and says, do we have that much?
Well, that performance I just put on was worth at least 100 gold.
Scout
And
gives the
Gorakul just sort of non-threateningly just throws a non-magical stone at Pesci, just sort of as I say, shut it.
Scout gives out the creepiest, weirdest chuckle laugh you've ever heard.
At this point, Pesci says to Garkul, I think we're done here.
Are you sure you don't? Are you sure we can't negotiate?
Well, what's your counter offer?
Well, he's just looking to the others to see if they are able to spare some gold to make 100.
Why
Pesci
are
doesn't
you
have that
accepting
much.
the first offer he made? Why aren't you counter offering?
Well, if I'm honest, the village we're from has some great apples.
Pesci says the amount of labor involved at most would be worth 2 gold. The amount of time it would take to do the labor and everything. I don't see
50 gold.
50 gold. 3 gold.
Oracle says, I think 50 works best because I imagine we have at least 50 among us.
40
No.
gold.
He's still going lower, so Pesci says 3 gold. That's at
50
least
gold.
a few days worth of food right there that you can purchase.
50 gold.
No.
Oracle says, just pay, let's just go for the 40 gold.
Pesci says, I'm sure we can set up a series of levers and pulleys to assist
Oracle
us in
just
loading
sort of
this.
covers Pesci's mouth after that point and says, we'll pay the 50.
Well, you have
Uh,
22. Where are you going to get 28 gold from?
How much gold
Or
does
I
Scout
mean,
have?
18 if you go with 40.
How much gold does Scout?
Scout's cocking his head, looking at the little dragon, and he does not say anything at you, but he doesn't look very amused either.
Hazard, we don't really want to spend the money on this. I understand that your character may want to, but our characters are kind of stubborn at this point, based off of the way the conversation is going and how they've been treating us. We want to move on. Our intent is to make it either we get a deal that we just accept or we just move on. That was my intention.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You might not have picked up on that. I'm just letting you know that was my character's intention. Although I do like your idea of getting them to help us and to pay them, it's just I don't feel it's worth it. And my character is not content with the way they treated us.
Doesn't mind that you're negotiating. He actually thought it was a pretty good idea until they wanted way too much for labor.
Yeah, the prices that they've been saying is like the cost. We could buy a horse with the amount of money that they're wanting. We can buy almost an elephant with the amount of money that they're asking for us. So it doesn't make sense to Pesci. They're not working with us, is essentially what it comes down to.
They're also providing you with a small army of kobolds.
Oh, that's if we accept their help, yeah.
So I feel like that's good enough reason.
Okay, but the rest of us really don't. We don't really feel that it's useful.
Yeah, and that's where it's at. So, unless Gorakul has any last-ditch offers he wants to make them,
You could say send half the men that you are wanting to send, and I'll give you 18 gold now. Maybe that'll work.
Will that work, DM?
I don't know. Are you gonna do that?
Gorakul is going to. Yeah.
If you're going to do
Yeah.
a persuasion roll, I want to give you bardic inspiration. But at this point, Pesci is done negotiating with them.
All right, hold on 1 second before you roll, Gorakul.
Here. Bardic inspiration for you.
Hold
Be
on.
sure to use it.
Hold on. All right, it should work now. Go ahead, Gorakul, roll for persuasion.
Don't forget to use the inspiration along with it.
It did. Unfortunately, no. He is not willing to accept your offer.
Okay, Gorakul sort of sighs and says,
You could have used your
"Well,
point of inspiration to roll that at advantage.
Okay. So roll it again.
Yes.
I think you keep the 6, though. It's just you roll the d20. Is that right?
Yes. So a 19. He accepts your offer. For 20 gold, he will send along 20 kobolds.
And that is how much he gives.
And so, with your band of kobold workers following behind, and the wagon hooked up to good old Dave the donkey, you guys head back out towards the campsite, hoping that the meteorite is still there. And that is where we draw to a close for this session of Dragons of War. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.